And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we're joined for this very special intro for Season 4, Episode 15, Lauren Lotter and Ron Hurst. Yay!
Yay!
That was not the best yay I've done. I'm sorry, I'm rusty.
It's okay. Kermit would still be proud, Giles.
Yeah. We've actually got a Kermit, you know. We've actually got a Kermit the Frog.
Oh, yeah? An actual puppet there in the studio?
Yeah. We're going to use it. We never actually were going to use it when I went with the green colour scheme for Season 4, but we never actually ended up using it. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. I had a week off with Global, and because obviously I had my mum died last week. So
Giles, my condolences.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's just and I really appreciate MD giving me a little bit of time off, and because they. Jen and Steve said, look, if you want to take more time off, it's okay. It's been quite a stressful couple of months, really, isn't it? Yeah. So, because in February I got the news from my sister. My mum had a fall and she'd been on the floor 4 days. And so luckily she was found. Otherwise, she probably wouldn't have lasted another day.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, she was on the floor and she was pretty much unconscious for 4 days.
4 days?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how she survived that.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Yeah, she's tough. So anyway, she went to hospital and we got the tests, and then obviously we found out she had cancer, inoperable cancer. And myself and Lauren have been going down every week for 5-6 weeks, and we lost her last week. So
Well, the only cool thing was I did get to see your childhood home. You posted up some pictures, and wow, what a cool place. It was from 1300 or something. When was that place built?
It's about 600 years old. It's about,
Wow.
But it was because for many years, because I lived on that same street after I left when I was 18, because I spent the first 18 years of my life there, and I had and I could never go back. It was too upsetting because it was such a, I loved that place so much growing up in that old pub, and we went back and. We met the new owner, and she took us round, didn't she?
It was really beautiful. It does need a little bit of TLC, but it was really nice to see where you grew up and see your bedroom.
We saw my bedroom.
So Giles' bedroom.
Where all the magic used to happen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's where his forearm got so big.
Yep.
Oh
if those walls could talk.
So Giles, was that place a pub? Has that place been a pub for like 600 years?
Yeah, it's called the Robin Hood Inn, but
wow.
it's been a pub, and I was hatched there. I was created in the lab, and then I lived there till I was 18. But like I said, for many years I couldn't go back, so I kind of confronted it, and the lady showed us around everywhere. It was bittersweet, really. It was nice to see it. It was it's kind of like I said, it's had a bit of neglect and a few bad decisions of owners, and
not as bad as neglect as your second place, which is up the street from the Robin Hood. My gosh!
Yeah, the pigeons moved in after I left.
There's a window that's still open, and you just you wonder what's happening inside.
Pigeons do not know how to take care of a home. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
they'll wreck a place.
Yeah. So like I said, it's actually been quite a nice positive experience going back and having some time, because luckily we got time to spend with my mum, and have some nice conversations, and the very last thing she ever said to me?
No.
She called me a dickhead.
What?
Which, see, my family's got quite a weird sense of humor, quite a dark sense of humor.
I'll say.
It's like, because as I went, I said, well, I used a Welsh word, a Welsh terminology, and I said, look, Mum, I said, well, see you next week. I'll be back in next Tuesday. Me and Laura will come in next Tuesday. And I said, I hope you don't go. I used a Welsh word, but I said, I hope you don't go crazy. And then I said, well, crazier. And then then as I closed the door, she said, oh, dickhead. And but it was like, and I just thought, I was shutting the door and I was thinking, every week I'm going, I know that this could be the last ever time I see her. Yeah. And I just told her I loved her. I gave her a kiss and everything, like I always do when I leave. And I just thought, you know what, I'll take that, because it went on a laugh, So it's quite. I smile when I think about it anyway. So, but yeah, now, it's one of those.
On
things.
A related subject.
Yeah.
Now that's Wales.
Yeah.
Now, Prince Charles is the Prince of Wales, Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay, so is he going to be king soon? What's going on?
Well, it's not the Queen that died; it's the Queen's husband, Prince Philip.
I know, but she's like 100, isn't she? Or 102 at this point?
94?
She's 94,
She's
95.
turning 95 in a few days.
Poor Charles. How long has he got to wait?
I don't think he will, because he's in his 70s. I think it'll go to William. So
I do too.
is this something you Americans are interested in, the royal family, or are you envious?
Not in the least. No, it's just I remember when I was a kid, I was like, oh, Prince Charles, well, he'll be king soon. And that was like 40 years ago, and here we are. He's still not king.
Poor bastard.
I just thought it would have happened by now for the poor guy. Oh well.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
yeah. So anyway, so that was it really. But we've got an absolute packed episode for this episode. We've gone kind of over and above really. If we've still got a little couple of bits to film, but this will, if everyone does and all goes well for the rest of today, this will be a record-breaking episode.
Wow.
So
What do we got?
well, I can't possibly tell you because
right.
if they don't turn up and I say they are? But there is a little bit of a clue in the. The thing is, you'll know because you'll see the rotator. So.
Yes, true. Okay.
So,
all right. Surprise me.
Yep, I've got my little Willy here, and my little Winklaar.
Oh my gosh.
Ah, okay. Well, the bobbleheads, I can't see them.
No, they're the Iron Idols.
Oh, the Iron Idols. Okay. Yeah. Those are different from those. Don't have bobbleheads. Those are regular action figures.
Yeah,
that guy
really
from.
cool.
They're cool, aren't they? Yeah. The guy sold the company actually. He sold it. He stopped doing them.
Huh.
So because they're like hand painted and everything. So.
So what are we talking about today, Giles? What's going on?
Well, and also Lauren's been obviously the host of Buff Bombshell show. You've had plenty going on. Well, even just this weekend, haven't you?
Yeah, so we had our first Buff Bombshell photo shoot. So that was amazing. And I got some of the girls to read MD and take some stuff for, well, hopefully MD, because, I feel like we need more female readers and we need to really...
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah, we need to bump up those females. So I'm trying to get them to do as much as they can now. And it was spectacular. It went so well and it was more than I could have hoped for. So I'm really happy with that.
I only saw one photo on your Instagram. It's Lauren Lauder, everybody, at Lauren Lauder. It was you. Who else was in the picture? Was Emma there too? I couldn't really tell who else was there.
So Emma is not in this one, but I will do something with her soon. And the ladies that were in this one were Milena Bonia and Petra Valdenova. They're both IFBB bikini pros. And we had Christina Fox, and she is also an IFBB bikini amateur. And I guess we're both going for our pro cards. So that's just
all right.
All bikini.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, give Emma's thing a shout out today because Emma Hyman, your co-host with Buff Bombshell.
Well, Emma's started a new venture, Ron, and she's in the process of making donuts. So, she's all into fitness, but she can't eat them. From my understanding, so she's made skinny donuts and protein donuts, and it's a brand called Defiance Donuts, and the branding is really cool if you guys have a look at it.
Which ones are they? Are they the low sugar? Because they look like normal donuts to me.
These are the skinny ones, the 123 calorie ones, and we've got like a lotus biscoff one, a chocolate sprinkly one, and a pink one. I don't want to touch them yet because then I'd ruin them. And I want to wait until Emma comes in tomorrow so I can show her. But, big shout out to her and obviously for starting, I don't know, a sweet treat brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. She could maybe follow in the footsteps of Juan Morel and his wife, Karen, who have a huge successful company called My Cookie Dealer.
Yeah, I've had one of those.
They are not diet. They are not skinny. They are not low calorie.
Yeah.
Oh, these things are like a big brick, but they come in different flavors all the time, and they're delicious. Yeah. But boy, it's like this one of them is probably about the size of 4 or 5 regular cookies.
Wow,
easily.
Have you seen that? Wow. She's only. I think she's been going maybe a year. It's just over a year. I know that, but I saw a post the other day, and they've moved into this big premises. I mean, they've got like lots of staff. Isn't it funny though how they went the opposite route of most people in the industry by bringing out low sugar, protein bars, protein cookies, and they've gone, do you know what? What about on the one day a week when bodybuilders have cheat days? Like obviously Juan Morel, really well known for his crazy 10,000 calorie cheat days with eating.
I think he did 21 time. I think he did it.
That's a lot of calories.
Oh my God! Gosh. I can't imagine what his digestive tract was like after that.
Don't think about that. No.
It's got a unique colon, better than ours.
To be honest, I don't know. I think it's kind of a genius idea, but I think the idea of, I suppose you've got to cater to what people, if one day a week they are going to be having kind of cheat foods, I suppose it makes sense to give them
something that they actually want instead of something that's a diet version.
These things are delicious. I mean, my wife, at one point she was making an order a week, and an order is was a minimum of 12 cookies at the time.
Yeah.
So we were going through those cookies pretty well. Yeah.
This is some
good
really
off-season food.
Yeah, big cookies too. Like because you've still got some left.
We've got some in the freezer. We've got some in the freezer. They said Juan sent me some.
Yeah. So you.
Yeah, they sponsored the Olympia. They were one of the sponsors.
Yeah.
So doing well. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, they're doing great. Also, the WHOAH, that was the show that was yesterday. Mm-hmm. In this episode, we've got, hopefully if they turn up, we've got Chris Minns and Bojana in this episode. Because the reason I got them on, even before she won the show, I asked them to come on, was because Chris Minns, the Pro League promoter, couldn't get to Russia to organize and be at his own show. And I kind of skimmed through it because I thought, I don't want to know too much because I actually want to get them on and ask them. So, and then obviously, but Bojana could go for some reason. I think she went via several countries whilst prepping. Then she flew back, went to the WHOAH and won a pro show.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've got to get them on to hear the story.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. Yeah, Chris made a post about everything. She did everything by herself. She did the work of, it sounded like an entire staff at the contest in Russia by herself because she had to. She pulled it off because he was supposed to be there and he couldn't get over. But those two they're quite a power couple, Chris and Bojana.
Yeah. What about the language barrier as well? Because I'm assuming everyone. I mean, she's not Russian, is she, Bojana? She's
Serbian, I think.
What's the same language, isn't it?
No.
Okay.
Serbian is what Milos Sarcev speaks.
Okay.
Well, I think he speaks a few languages, but that's the native language for what used to be that area of Yugoslavia. Yeah. So, she probably speaks like they're I know all those languages are similar. Like you could probably learn one if you already speak the other. Just like if you can speak Italian, Spanish, or Portuguese, any of those three, you can probably learn either of the other two fairly easily. They're pretty similar.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well, so she's won that. So what was she at the Olympia? I think she was 6th or 7th at the Olympia. She was second at the Arnold, the last Arnold, obviously the last Arnold we had. Yep. So she's kind of, I mean, that's incredible though, going from doing all that and then, winning a show. Yeah, that's incredible. The last thing you want to be doing a few days out from a show is traveling and organizing a show in another country, having to organize people. I mean, I'm amazed she still went ahead and did the show, but fair play to her.
Yeah, hats off.
Wow.
She's done an incredible job. And like you said, power couple. Really look up to Bojana and Chris Minns.
And Ashley.
Yes, Ashley Kaltwasser won the bikini.
Okay.
Yeah, she got the big hammer. What is it? It's not a hammer. You always tell me off.
Don't call it. No, you called it something else, didn't you?
Sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer.
But it's the Thor
How could
hammer.
you call Thor's hammer a sledgehammer?
It's got a name. What's its name?
Mjolnir.
What?
Mjolnir.
MJOLNAR.
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. Yeah. Gotcha. But you can't call it a bloody sledgehammer.
Okay, well, Ashley won the Mjolnir, and you can see it in her post, and she's got it with her crown, and I'm really happy for her because which one did she did the
third.
mile? No, she came first, but in her last show, she came second.
She was third.
Yes, well, third in the last show, but then she did this one, and she's she's back in. So
do you think she could win the
23 pro wins for bikini?
She's the Kevin Levrone or Vince Taylor or Dexter Jackson of the bikini.
Well, if she's still competing at 50, we'll see about that. Then she can we can truly compare to Dexter.
Wow.
But, I think she's still a kid. I think she's in her early 30s at this point.
Yeah. Oh, well done on the thing with Kevin when you got everyone on the screen. That must have been logistic nightmare to get everyone organized. How did you do that, Ron?
Honestly, Kevin deserves so much credit. Kevin gets the guests.
Yeah.
All I do is set up a Zoom link and send it to everybody for this time. And he coordinated with everybody, made sure they would be able to make it at the same time.
Yeah.
I think everybody except for me, Kevin and I are on East Coast time. I think everybody else on that call, everybody else on the call was on Pacific time anyway. Cormier, Flex, and Sean Ray. So it wasn't that tough. But that was probably the one of the best interviews. Even though I didn't really speak much at all, I was sort of in the background, just soaking it all in. Because I've known all three of those guys for 30 years now, and I was hearing things that I've never heard before.
Really?
The way they used to interact with each other, and at Gold's Gym Venice, how Sean was there for a couple of years, but he never really fit into that group. He was never part of their clique, and just different stories. It was. If anyone hasn't watched it yet, the Levroni Muscle Report, great series that Kevin started doing with us a couple months ago. Yeah. And that was so far. And by the time this comes out, the one we did with Lee Haney will already be out.
Oh,
that was Lee's always. I could listen to Lee Haney for days.
Thank you so much for setting up Lee Haney, because he was one I was just really struggling to get ticked off, because I just could not get hold of him. He wasn't responding, and I just said, I'm going to have to use my my Ron card here and ask him, because I was so happy, because he was exactly as I expected him. He was just, he's Lee Haney. I mean, he's the guy's such a gentleman, and he was so giving, and because I started following the sport in 1990, so he was the king at the time, so he was like the Ronnie Coleman of that era, he was the numero uno. So I was really, really happy to get him. In fact, we had a bit of a good run actually, because I tell you, what really surprised me was Jean-Pierre Fuchs.
Oh yeah. I had never heard him speak before.
Yeah.
All I knew about him, and I didn't realize. Well, I knew he spoke English, but I mean, he was a really well-spoken guy. I could listen to him for hours too. He had some great stories, and yeah, he's one of the few that's retired that's in a good place mentally. No bitterness.
Yeah.
Just a really healthy attitude towards the career that he had and the current scene and all that. So yeah, you've been getting some amazing guests on Global.
Stop. But it's I tell you what as well, I'd like to big thank you to Chris Cormier as well, because like I said, the last couple of months there's been weeks when I've kind of struggled, with everything going on, and I said, look, because I knew if he came on, he would take some of the slack of the interview and kind of carry it a little bit when maybe I wasn't focusing as much as I needed to. And he's been really, really, really good. I mean, the one with Tony Freeman had in the last episode, that was really good. Who else did we have on with him?
Oh, you've had him
Chris
on
Cormier. Who else was that? Oh, hang on. Who else did we have on with Chris? Melvin Anthony. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, I hadn't heard from Melvin in years. So he's another. I tell you, sometimes you think the people you have on as guests, I half the time I say, that's somebody I've been thinking about for years, and I just never made that extra step and contact him, even though I meant to, and you go ahead and do it. So, Giles, you complete me.
Have you got any requests while you're at it then? Because I can. There's a couple giving me the run around at the moment, but I'll nail them. I'll get them down. I'll get them sorted.
So I'll send the request in private, just in case they don't respond. I don't want to make them look like jerks.
Yeah. And you notice if sometimes when you get someone that hasn't been sort of reached out to for years, all of a sudden they start popping up on all these other podcasts because they know, people know they're available. Like Jean-Pierre Fuchs has been on a few now, and all of a sudden it's come out of nowhere,
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't heard an interview with him since 2000, late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah. I mean, that's somebody that went off the grid basically.
But he was good, wasn't he, Melvin?
Melvin was
okay,
good.
Get Gunter on. Why don't you get Gunter? I love Gunter.
I've tried. He doesn't even read the messages.
Who's Gunter? Sorry. I'm still learning.
Sorry. Edit that out, please. Who is Gunter?
Sorry.
I'll tell you what. Next time we got Ronnie Coleman on the screen, say, Ronnie, who's Gunter?
No, I don't want to do that to Ronnie. I'll never do that.
Who's Gunter, Ronnie? Sure. And it'll give you a real evil look.
No, see, this is why I'm not saying that to Ronnie. See, this is why people watch Muscular Development, which, by the way, your history segments have been very good and very educational.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the
retro? Those retro reviews you're doing, Giles. Yeah. That was an excellent idea. Those are huge addition to this show. I mean, sometimes, honestly, I don't always watch the whole show.
Yeah.
I go through them, but I always watch the retros because it just brings back so many memories.
Yeah.
I was at a lot. Some of these shows I wasn't at, and to finally see a recap of them and, with your commentary, it's like I was there. It's like a cool little video report.
So if you, the next retro review, or go back and watch the old ones, if you see like a panning of the audience and you see a guy with a really bad mullet.
No.
And a big stripy top, the big stripy, the big open neck tops.
Ron didn't have a mullet.
I did have a mullet, actually.
No.
Yep. I did, yeah.
Check.
I had a lot of hair back then.
Check Ron's Instagram. No, but the reason I did the retro reviews is because and the reason I've gone to the legends and the people of like the Melvin Anthonys, the Jean-Pierre Fuchses, is because there's been no shows. Now I like to be as current as I can with Global Muscle, you know, and obviously if someone wins a show like Bojana, you know, like literally 2 days later, we're gonna be interviewing her from the hotel before she leaves to go back, you know, and it's like I just thought, well, I may as well just go back over the legends and hear theirs because I want to hear their stories as well. Like, you know, like the Jean-Pierre Fuchs one was absolutely. I mean, he was such an easy guy to interview, and he was going, oh, I've got another funny story, and another funny story. And I remember when NASA, and I was training with it, and he was talking about gear, and he was talking about this, and I was just thinking, this is and Samir Banu, you know, I mean, that is a guy that could have gone on for 3 hours, and you barely have to say a word, you know, and they're so easy because they're so full of, you know. I mean, did you like the Samir one? Yeah.
Oh, Samir, Milos. So some people. You just say hello, and they'll take it away from there, you know.
Yeah, but I like it when I like it when they surprise you. It's good, you know.
Yeah, cool. So... Yeah, we as far as shows, we finally have the contest season starting up in a few weeks. Thank goodness.
Yeah,
it's been a long wait since the Olympia was our last show. So MD, Hector Mendoza and I will be at the Indy Pro. And then the following weekend we'll be at New York Pro. Yes. So I'm really looking forward to getting back to shows. It's been a long time. Yeah. I just wish we didn't have to wear the stupid masks. That's all.
Oh God, yeah. But not many people were wearing them at the Olympia.
No, I mean we're supposed to. We're all supposed to. But that's why I don't know how many people got COVID at the Olympia, but a lot of people got COVID at the Olympia. Yeah. A lot of people. Milos got it, and he was in my face all weekend. You know, we were yelling at each other, doing the doing the wrap ups and everything. But I lucked out. But I'm fully vaccinated. Nice. Save your rage in the comments, you anti-vax people. But I got the Johnson & Johnson 1 dose.
Okay.
And the day after I got it, they had stopped administering it because people were scared. Oh. So I got it on the one day it was available in my area.
Wow. I've got because I'm diabetic. I got the first AstraZeneca. And I was told that I'd be maybe a little bit tired for about 2 days, but I was absolutely shattered. It was like having
4 days.
It was like having narcolepsy. I was like for about 5 days. I was so tired. The first night I got like a bit of muscle ache, you know, like a bit of like know when you get like a fever in it, but it passed. It wasn't too bad. I mean, my shoulder was a bit sore where they jabbed it, but
right. Yeah. Mine's actually it's been almost a week and it's still sore right there. It's like a bad gear shot.
Do you know what? I got a very strange response once when I was getting my flu jab, and I said, "Can I do it myself, please?" She went, why would you? She complete. I went, well, I like to do my jabs myself.
Oh my God.
The pharmacist who did my vaccination, he said, this is going to pinch, this is going to hurt a little bit. I said, dude, that needle you got there, dude, I put harpoons in my body. That's nothing. Go ahead, stick away.
Do you know? Did I tell you the story about when Charles Claremont years ago, 99? I was, and also Dorian noticed I had bruises on my triceps. Did I tell you about that? I was working for Dorian Yates, a guy called name Metrex, the Metrex distribution back in 99, and for Muscle News, that was the bodybuilding newspaper at the time. And I was put in, remember the Viramone? Viramone, the test probe?
No,
test
I never saw that.
Steroid, dear.
I get it.
Yeah, and I was, what I was doing, I was putting the, inch and a half, the green pins. Well, I was basically putting it in my outer tricep. Yeah. I was putting the green in, and I was stopping when I hit the bone.
Oh. Oof.
And then
inch and a half. That's
all the way in.
It's about that long, that much into your body, into your tricep.
Yeah,
wow.
I would stop when I could actually hit the bone. So anyway, I was when Dorian, because he used to come over once a month. So Dorian comes in, and I always used to get him a peach Metrex. That was his favorite. And I kind of, because I had a tight t-shirt and I was bulked up, full of D-ball. And I put the peach Metrex down, and Dorian goes, he kind of looks, and he looks at one arm, and he gets up out of the chair, and he looks at the other tricep, and he says, Giles, he says, why have you got matching bruises? Why have you got matching bruises on your triceps? No, sorry. He said, he looked at the one, and he says, what's that on your tricep? And I said, I said nothing, and he said, no, you've got the same on both sides. He says, yeah, I'm not stupid. And I said, I'm trying to get triceps like Ernie Taylor. That's what I said.
Okay. Ernie Taylor, for Google him, guys. Ernie Taylor, the king of the suspicious triceps. I'm sorry, they're very suspicious.
Do you think they will, or do you think he was just putting his gear in there? Do you think that was not simple?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what went in there. Something went. Like Greg Valentino claims he never put synthol in his arms. It was just a lot of gear, and who knows? It's the same visual effect regardless.
Yeah.
But
well, I know that equipoise and propionate, they're very localized. They localize very well. They will cause inflammation and scar tissue around the area. So that's something I've heard. People who site inject, the dodgy looking arms. I mean, most of them, if you ask them, will say. I remember one guy. This was the night before the Nabi Universe. And this guy, he actually ended up winning his class. I won't say what year because people will figure it out. And I went to his hotel room to have a look, and he looked absolutely sensational. He won his class. He was looking absolutely sensational, but he had no triceps. He had no triceps. So anyway, and on the side he had some Testavit. It was one of the brands of Test Prop at the time, obviously like decades ago. And I said, "What are you doing with that?" And he says, "Well, I'm going to put 7.5 mil in each tricep."
Woo!
Wow.
Is that a lot?
That's that's 7.5 milliliters in each tricep. And he came on stage the next day and did his most muscular, and he had the most beautiful curve to his tricep. But the thing is, though, it works in the short term, but the long term, it just causes muscle wastage, and it wrecks it can cause muscle tears and. Right?
Yeah, muscle tears.
Talking about donuts again, dear.
No, it's just the camera moved.
Oh, okay,
but
sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Muscle tears and really beautiful triceps.
Yes, so yeah, I'm giving you education now about.
I like it.
And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host Giles Thomas, and my co-host Lauren Lotter from the Buff Bombshell Show. And we're joined. I've probably still at the venue, Chris Mintz and Bojana Vasiljevic. Yay!
Hey!
Guys, how you doing?
Good. We're a little tired. It's been quite a run.
Right. Now, firstly, congratulations, Bojana, on your win yesterday at the WHOAH.
Yeah, huge congratulations.
Yeah, the reason I actually asked you on before you'd even won the show, because Chris, I saw on your Instagram, because you're a show promoter, you promote many, many shows like I've got the name now, the Fort Legion. I forgot the name of the show then. You promote a lot of different shows, including the one in Russia. But I read on there that you couldn't get there. Bojana could. So please just take us through the whole last few days.
Okay, I'll start at the beginning. There's a worldwide pandemic. You're probably aware of this.
Okay.
It makes it challenging to cross borders. However, Russia offers a humanitarian visa for athletes and promoters and things along those lines. And we had spoken with one of the ministries there, and they had told us that they would support us in bringing in athletes and as well as my team. Yeah. And so we put it out there, and we had about, this was about 8-9 weeks ago, 150 athletes who had requested the humanitarian visa through us. And we're gathering all of their passports and such, put together our list, brought it back to the ministry. And they said, oh, you know what? We got a call from the IFBB, FBBR, and they said not to fulfill any of these humanitarian visas.
What?
And they are the official league of Russia, so they have the connections within the government to be able to stop the visas. The FBBR had also, when we announced our shows, they scheduled 2 shows on the same day. Our show is a Sunday, and normally it's shows on Saturday, but they put their show in Moscow on Sunday. They put their show in St. Petersburg on Sunday. And then they did a post on their official page about us, very honored, about how, we were just in it for just for the money and all that. So to me, and they suspend anybody who competes outside of their league. And so for me, I started this because of my passion for the athletes, for bodybuilding. My first show, I think we've talked about this before. I said, this is not worthy of the athlete, and that's why we're going to do something better. And so for me to see a league that is really just trying to hurt the athlete. I mean, their policy is to hurt the athlete by suspending them.
What? 1 second. Who's you're the pro league. So who are these other guys?
IFBB International, Amateur International, Rafael Santos.
Oh, the elite side. Okay, right. Oh,
Yeah,
boo
and
hiss.
then the arm of that, or the minions in Russia, called the FBBR.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Right,
so
okay. See what's happened.
so they're doing all these things to sabotage us and the athletes, and
Yeah.
that just like it pisses me off and makes me want to work harder. You know,
Yeah,
because this is our core values to help the athlete, and to me, especially with Corona, to know that these athletes have been working so hard since June, and then you know for our December show, which I rescheduled to April, to then sabotage them like this tells me what that league is really about.
Yeah.
So now at this point they posted about us. Oh, I also heard they talk about me in their seminars and how you know, I guess whatever they make up about me, and then they spread rumors that our show's not going to happen, and like I said, schedule shows on top of our show and then ban the athletes. But we still push forward, right?
Really
and I arranged an entry for myself by getting some medical things taken care of while I was there, and that helps me come in with a medical visa. Well, when the medical firm applied for my entry, my name was specifically flagged.
Oh no.
Okay.
And they'd never seen that before. So here they're really just trying to sabotage this show, and in turn really hurt the athletes. Now at this point, you know, it's the last 100 athletes, and they're all Russian. So their own Russian federation is trying to hurt their own Russian athletes. And I said, like, the most messed up thing about this is an American is coming in to try to help the athletes because their own federation is hurting their athletes. So, you know, we did kind of anticipate this as a possibility. When I put together my operations plan, I kind of kept my name out of it. You know, no specific tasks for me. Bojana and I kind of prepped for the fact that she might be doing this alone, and that's what happened. And we're so close that I had taken my coronavirus test to go.
Yeah.
And we went together, and I found out after my coronavirus test I wasn't going to be able to get in. So then she, you know, we let the team know. And fortunately, she's Serbian, so she can get into Russia, but she has to get in via Belgrade by direct flight. And she has to also get a COVID test in Belgrade.
Yeah.
So at this point now, I've given her about 150 pounds of gear. I drop her off at the Reno airport. Now from Reno to LAX. Now in LAX, they don't transfer the bags. She has to do that herself. So she walks the 8 terminals with the bags.
On how many carbs? How many carbs you were at the time?
How many what?
How many carbs?
Oh, how many carbs? she's still, you know, in the neighborhood there. And that's a good point, is she's still prepping at that point for Pittsburgh Pro.
Yeah.
So yeah, she goes from, you know, it's Terminal 1 is Southwest all the way to the Bradley International Terminal. They give her some crap there, but gets through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then she goes from there to Munich, right? Mm-hmm. Munich to Frankfurt, Frankfurt to Belgrade. Belgrade, she meets with basically like her elementary school friend, who's a photographer, and then Sandra, she was really her mentor in her beginning of her career, you know, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And Sandra, what's Sandra's full name?
Alexandra Rapaj.
Rapaj. Mm-hmm. So she ends up being my head judge because I can't get any Americans in. Mm-hmm. And she's been a head judge with other leagues, and she's been a promoter. So I knew that this is going to be a strong person. Mm-hmm. And then her husband's also a powerlifting promoter, strongman promoter, and also makes for a good bodyguard for the girls. And then we get on about a 2.5-hour call with Sandy, and we dial everything in together. There was 4 of us, Sandra, her husband, Bojana, myself, and Sandy. And we went through really a cool session, looking at the Olympia bikini winners and seeing exactly what it was that got one person first and another person fifth. And she really said anybody could have been first. There was an argument for anybody. But what ended up that it was just a beautiful educational session that translated really well at the show, where I'd never heard anybody who disagreed with a single result from this show.
Yeah.
So that went really fantastically. Okay, so we're in Belgrade. Belgrade, she gets another COVID test because you got to do that. And now it's Team Serbia here. 4 of them get on a plane to Moscow, where they meet up with my Russian team, who we've been prepping for this for a long time. But none of them have ever put on a show before.
Oh,
you
God.
know.
Is this your second? It's your second show in Russia, correct?
It is, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And some of these guys have helped out, but it was, I was there. It was the American team, and I'm like a conductor, making sure everything's going well. If I have to jump in to expedite or stage expedite or check in with the judges or help the MC, I'm there for that. And this time I wasn't. And I mean, it was even my own team in the United States, they couldn't, as many shows as we put on together, having to all of a sudden become the promoter, they are happy to admit they're not ready for that. And so here we are with a brand new green team who've barely been to one show, some not, ready to do it for me. And it all comes down to the passion that they have for changing things in Russia.
Yeah.
And in Russia, we talk about, now what they do to me, what they're willing to do to the athletes to cover their own ass. But, we know all these stories from that league about, somebody earns their pro card, but then, you still got to kick down another 10 G's
I've
to
heard
actually
that.
get the pro card.
Kamal was 100.
100?
Yeah, 100. So I'll speak to Kamal about that. He'll tell you. Yeah, he went through, and he was banned by WHOAH and all this for several years. And I mean, if it wasn't for Jim Mannion, Kamal would have retired as an amateur, and he wouldn't have ended. Obviously he won the Olympia, the 212 Olympia, and the Arnold Classic in 2018. So there's stories there that because of the split in 2017 of good things that have come from that for athletes that otherwise would not have happened, mate.
No, and my feeling is truly like, if we can't get everybody in the world a chance to get to the Olympia, you can't call them the best, and the Russians deserve that chance, and Middle Easterners deserve that chance. And we see the quality at this show. Anybody in that show could win an overall at an NPC show in the United States. Like I'm going to be, sometimes in the United States, there's the transformation person who's like, oh, you lost 100 pounds. Good for you. You need another 75.
Yeah.
But they got up there and they did. That doesn't exist in Russia. They are all rock hard.
Yeah.
Shape is great. Like they are good, and they deserve that chance to get up there. And I'm hoping that in the next couple of years, we'll see people who've gone through our shows and end up on that Olympia stage from Russia.
So, Bojana, what was that like for you, having to do all the traveling and the prepping? Did you, at any point, think about pulling out of your show, or what was your mindset with the last few days?
No, I never think about pulling out of the show, because I never did that in my life before. I just told you, I think, before my trip, I said, like, even with all this happening, I'm going to do the show no matter what, because I never, I did 70 amateur shows and 50 pro shows, and I never, ever prep for the show and pull out of the show.
Oh, good for you. Jeez, that's a lot of shows.
I never thought about that. Like, when I'm prepping, that's it. So I'm going to the end, and whatever happens.
We talked about this, and I said, once you commit to a show, you've got to do it. I don't like it when people pull out of shows, and then you've gone through this absolute... Like I read about, traveling with all the 150 pounds worth of equipment and everything else, and you still, I mean, it's not just you still went through with it, but you ended up. Then what happened then? So you did the show, and then you flew back, and then ended up winning the WHOAH. Tell us.
Yeah, I mean, WHOAH was my first initial planned show, and I didn't realize it is on the same date as Russia. Yeah, so Chris kind of like, oh, no, you cannot do it because you're going to be in Russia when your peak week starts. So, let's plan something else. And I was like, okay, so let's see what I can do. Pittsburgh is 2 weeks after. Let's do Pittsburgh. And I feel kind of a little bit bummed that I cannot do WHOAH because it's close to us here, and Robin is our friend, and we want to support her show. But it is what it is. So we kind of like, okay, we're going to do Pittsburgh. So I did my best there. I train when I have access to the gym. I have to thank my Serbian friends, Milka Stankovic and Extreme Gym, to allow me to train there that one day in Serbia, and my Russian friends, Dimitri and Nikolai, to take me to their gym in Russia to train. But it was days when I didn't have access to gym. It's no time for that. So I just have my bands, elastic bands in the room.
Wow.
So I just did a quick pump. I go outside and walk for cardio, morning cardio. I do walking cardio usually. So that's not new for me. I don't need treadmill or anything else. I prefer walking. So that was kind of cardio. Diet was pretty much on point because Russia is famous for their fish. So
fish and potatoes.
I was eating a lot of fish there, and I cook also in my room some chicken and turkey. My friend Nikolai brought me some cooker for the room. So
and Nikolai, by the way, is the first ever IFBB pro from Russia.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Super awesome dude. Helped us out, from the beginning to the end of this show.
Yeah. So when the show was over there on Monday, Chris talked with me and he asked me, so how do you look right now? I said, I have no idea. I didn't check my body, for all these days. I didn't have time. I barely had time to sleep, and I'm the person who likes to sleep, and I need 8 to 10 hours of sleep. If I don't have that, I don't feel okay. I'm not okay. So I was so exhausted that I even didn't think about WHOAH Warrior show anymore. That was an option in my head. But Chris said let's see when you come back. If you look still okay, maybe we jump into the show. I was just
Wow.
Okay. And he said we're gonna drive there. Don't worry. We don't need anything special. But I'm thinking yeah, but I'm not in a peak week. I didn't start at my peak week for Monday, how I usually do. Yeah. And that kind of mentally can throw me off a little bit because I didn't drink enough water. I didn't do carb depletion how I usually do. So that's everything. When you do on point, on your schedule, you feel more confident.
Yeah.
But at this point, I was feeling I'm not sure about this. Even if my body looks great, mentally, I'm not feeling 100% to jump into the show. But we left that option open for the Thursday. And I traveled 40 hours from Moscow to Belgrade. It was stop in Netherlands and then again in LA and Oakland, Reno.
Did you take your food? Sorry, Bojana, did you have food with you? What were you doing?
Yeah, I cooked some chicken and turkey at the room. I had a great source of fish there in their markets. Okay. So that was good. My carbs mostly was oatmeal. I didn't cook that. I just soak in the water overnight. So that was
wow.
Overnight oats and rice cakes.
Uh-huh.
That's the only thing that I eat there. I didn't eat enough basically there. I should eat more. So I missed some meals.
Yeah.
And I know when I start missing meals, I'm losing weight very fast. And it's not good for me because I'm already small competitor. So I tend to come too lean and stringy and small, and it's just not what they want for figure. So I was worried about that as well. And of course, holding water after all that hours of flight and changing the planes and stress, because when you board with the COVID test that is valid for the next 24 to 48 hours, when I have layover in another country, they sometimes have different rules they had, and they say you need a 24-hour-old test. Cannot be more than 24 hours. And then they keep you there and kind of okay, you have to take again another test here at the airport. But then if you take that test, you have to wait and miss your connection flight. So it's really messy with those tests.
Her flight only had 5-6 people on it.
Oh my!
And that was a good thing. The overseas flight was.
Yeah.
But it's so complicated that
but at least I could lay down anywhere I want on the plane.
Plus, the thing is, if you got 2 seats, you can pretty much lay out anyway, can't you? Because you're so short.
Yes.
She's got loads of room.
That was good. That was a good thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I arrived on Wednesday night. And we went to the gym immediately. It was midnight, probably 11 p.m. to do just a quick pump and start moving after that long flight time. he checked my physique. He said, like, this look good. I think that we can do it. Let's see after one sleep. Next morning, if you're going to drop more water. Yeah. And that's exactly happened. Like, I dropped water overnight. So he said, like, okay, let's just risk and do it. So we send our contract on Thursday. And drive on Friday to Salt Lake City. I didn't feel like I'm competing. It didn't hit me until I did tanning the night before. Yeah. Then I started feeling anxious, actually. And I started looking at my body, and the lighting in the room is so bad. Yeah. So bad. And I'm looking myself, and I'm, oh my God, I look like crap. This is horrible. This is not going to work. And I started panicking. And Chris said, like, don't worry. You have Peak filter on your eyes. You don't see well right now. Don't worry. Just don't look at that mirrors. So I just kind of like, okay, I give up. I didn't want to check myself anymore because I really look bad on these mirrors and this lighting in the room. So I said, like, okay, it's done. I'm here already. So whatever happens, it happens. But I knew that a lot of sleep going to help me because I immediately look better after every time when I take a nap or sleep. Yeah. So I forced myself to sleep that first night, like 10 hours. And the next day during the day, I was taking big naps in between prejudging and finals. So I look actually better on the night show.
Wow. So you haven't taken a nap in between the judging and the finals?
Oh, yeah. I used to...
usually do that anyway.
Yeah, I remember last year, the last Arnold that I did in Ohio, we was backstage for the finals maybe 2 hours before. Yeah. And I put my alarm and I took 1 hour deep nap. The girl that was next to me, she was kind of like, oh my God, she's not okay. She maybe passed out. And it was kind of like, are you okay? I said, like, yeah, I'm just taking a nap.
Wow. So, I mean, at what point did you think I'm going to win this? I mean, you know, you're on stage and you're thinking, what was it like for you, Chris? At what point do you think, shit, she looks, I mean, what would you say, how do you think she looked compared to when she got second at the Arnold Classic last year?
First, I never count my chickens. There's been a lot of times that I thought that she was going to win, and then she didn't. So now I just kind of assume that anything can happen. I have my opinion, but I think that anything can happen. I guess for the first question is, to me at this show, there's only 11 of them. She's the only one who ever has been to the Olympia. So I knew that she was setting the standard of the show. And, you know, the judges' eyes, this is an Olympian. Everybody else isn't. Yeah. Even if Bojana's not at 100%, this is still the shape that gets you top 10 at the Olympia or number 2 at the Arnold. And so kind of went in knowing that. I would say, though, she was still 90% of what she was at the Arnold.
Shit.
At Arnold, so... Obviously, really the only difference was she was softer this time. Something that's unique about Bojana is she's lightest her body weight's the lightest when she starts her prep. And she gets heavier and heavier and heavier. And her heaviest day is the day of the show. Yeah. And I check her weight, and it was actually the heaviest she's ever been while she still has, you saw pictures, still, separated legs. Yeah. She has allowed shoulders, and she probably could have lost a pound of water and had the conditioning she had at the Arnold, but probably would have had more thickness and looked harder than the Arnold. So the body weight, I want to say that she was 5 pounds heavier. I'd have to check my charts, but I think she was 5 pounds heavier this time. So she really did a good job in her off season, thickening up her back. Her legs were a lot thicker than they were before, without really losing much. Like I said, she had a layer of water. We all could see that.
Yeah, I think with, like I've seen in figure with Jessica Reyes Padilla, I've seen it in bikini, where sometimes they'll bring a different look and they'll just go in as they are, or something will happen like this where the body looks different. And sometimes the judges end up saying, well, actually, this is actually a look we prefer. It's, you've actually, I actually prefer that look, I
was telling Bojana that, if this works out, I might just have to send you to Russia before every show.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously that's the qualification out of the way now for the Olympia.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, okay. So the risk paid off.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's done. And it's nice. Last year was stressful because shows were getting canceled and moved, and she wasn't sure if she'd get the points of the qualifications for the Olympia. And it was like, whoa, she got second at the Arnold, but might not get to the Olympia. That's kind of wild that could potentially happen, and nearly did.
Shit, yeah.
You know?
No qualification.
So, yeah, this is nice to have done. And, you know, like Bonac said, when we committed to the Manions for the Pittsburgh show, and when we commit to anything, whether it's a show in Russia or her competing in Pittsburgh, we follow through. So we're going to do that show again. And I think this will be nice because Tyler got to see her, give her a little feedback. Excuse me, my COVID's kicking in.
Oops.
Tyler got to see her, give a little feedback, and know that she's just going to get harder in the next couple of weeks. I think we're going to see her in top form in 2 weeks.
Oh, so Pittsburgh's 2 weeks then?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So you're still in Pittsburgh as well? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love to hear your whole story and just how you've managed to like overcome this whole thing. And then just
thank you.
Yeah, just it's really quite. I have a lot of respect for you being able to do this and then still compete and obviously still go for your next show and not pull out. So that's huge. Yeah, I think.
Thank you so much.
I think a lot of girls can take something from this and just like move forward. So yeah,
I think everyone could take something from this. I think this is huge.
Not,
I think
not quit it.
Yeah, I just think there's a real like I said, I invited you on even before you'd won this show because I thought with this, I wanted to find out more about this story with. The skullduggery going on in Russia, and I just thought I didn't even click. I didn't even click that it was something to do with the other side. The other side, that's what we refer to them as. I didn't think it was anything to do with that. I just thought it was maybe a problems with visas, or I didn't realize it actually actively really tried to scupper you even being able to get into the country. Because like you said, that's really detrimental to, not to you, but to the athletes that they're supposed to be promoting and helping.
And just like if there's any question about it, when we talked to the ministry there, they said, well, you can talk to Alexander Vishnevsky, who's the president of Russia. He's the only person who can let you in. So it was like, we're not guessing that this might have been what happened. We were told point blank, this is what happened.
Wow.
And if you want it to be resolved, this is the guy you need to talk to. And we did try to call him, and he refused to take our calls.
Wow. Oh, that's so well. At least the show went on though, didn't it? It went ahead, and you managed to. There's two big things there where you managed to pull it off, and you got the right result because you just pushed on through and you just refused to give in.
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly, and I think Russians are skeptical. It's their culture. It is what they've been through, whether it's with the federation or with just being Russian, and I think we showed them.
Yeah.
That we were going to be there for you, no matter what, through hell or high water. And now the amount of respect they're going to have for her on top of it, doing what they did, and then doing what she did, and then winning a show a few days later.
I think it's going to backfire. I think it's really going to help everything you guys are trying to do in Russia. And also, just for your sort of mindset of what you can do with everything you're doing with all your events. I think, like last year when you said about you put the outside event on and you made sure everything was COVID safe and you still pushed ahead. And I think it really says a lot for your characters, really.
Thank you.
It's sure going to be nice when we don't have to fight every.
Yeah. So,
but we'll do it as long as we have to. It goes back to I know how much sacrifice it is, and whether it's 12 weeks or turns into 16 or 20 or 24 weeks, man, I can't. If you put in that commitment, I can't not uphold my side. And it's not just me; it's 200 athletes who all committed. And I have to be there for them. There's no choice. Not even an option.
Yeah.
So, Lauren, any final questions before we let Chris and Bojana go?
No, I think you've asked most of it, but I'm just on to what Giles just said, again, with your mindset, the fact that you've done that and you care so much for your athletes to put so much into it for them, that is just amazing, because I don't know about you, but I want to say that there are a few show promoters, which I don't always feel like have the athlete's best interest at heart. So, it's quite spectacular. So thank you from my side too.
You've forgotten something.
Make sure we got that.
Yes, we love the hammer. So yes.
Wow.
You're
no joke.
Is it 10, 15 pounds? Or it looks quite bulky,
Yes.
I'm getting a pump right now for sure.
So you must be the new.
Before,
on the stage, they're like,
we didn't know what to do. And Robin, she told me, don't hold here because it's not gonna be good. Hold here and just lift up.
And you
So,
can
yeah.
and you can use it on your chicken when you're you're tenderizing your chicken, your beef.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's like,
So many uses.
and obviously you're both worthy, otherwise you wouldn't be able to pick it up. Bit of a Marvel reference there. So I thought Carly would like that one. Right, okay, guys. Well, I wanted to let you catch you before you left the hotel, because I know you've got a lot of traveling to do still. And just fantastic. What a fantastic story, though. And I'm really happy that you kind of got on two counts there. You got a sort of favourable outcome, So
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
thanks for having us and always supporting what we're doing here. I really appreciate you guys.
Always.
Thank
So
you.
Pittsburgh's next for you then.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, and then we will see after that.
Olympia.
Olympia, yeah. I was
rest.
hoping that Arnold is going to happen, so I'm still hoping and praying that Arnold's going to happen. I love that show, but I don't know.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Arnold
well,
Classic.
you're
Yeah,
back
what's
this
happening? What's happening with the Arnold Classic then? It's getting time's ticking now, isn't it?
I don't think, just from a promoter's perspective, you have a show that was scheduled for end of February and it's April. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. And I don't want to, I know too much.
Right. Okay. We'll leave it at that. Then we'll leave it at that. Then because we've got an Arnold in the UK in October. So
Yeah, that's an awesome thing. That's cool.
Yes.
yeah.
That's
So
Did they announce the divisions still or not?
there is
So-
five
So-
divisions, isn't there?
So it will be the main, like bikini, men's physique, bodybuilding. It's going to be all the main ones, and
Well-
then it's obviously our first one.
It's
in-
going to be figure?
Is there figure? That's what she
Oh
said.
yeah, there's going to be
Don't do it.
figure. Like there better be figure.
No, because they have announced their divisions.
No,
We
but
announced them the other
they,
week.
they must have them.
They've announced it. I'm not sure. Hang on,
No,
I can't. I don't remember seeing figure. Sorry.
No, they must have it.
No, they got
Are
5
you
divisions. That's not all
serious?
divisions.
That's ridiculous.
We'll make a petition.
I'll complain. I'm putting in an letter because that's ridiculous. There's
Okay.
lots of figure girls here in the UK. I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, that's true.
That'd be awesome. I've never been to the UK.
Yeah, I would love to go.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
come in October. Ooh.
Should come. Yeah, it'd be great.
The
Yeah.
Legion. It's earlier than that.
It's okay. That's not
It's
bad.
okay. It's just a Legion. It's
It's
just
3 weeks earlier. It's not like
So-
Russia.
One final thing. When's your next show then? When's the next show you're promoting? Is it the Legion Sport?
My next show is actually the NBC Motherload that's in Reno. It's a national qualifier, but definitely the big one, Legion Sports Fest.
Yeah.
We've 6 pro divisions, including open bodybuilding this year. And we also have every Masters pro division at this show.
Oh, wow.
And that's April 22nd. Yeah, we did it last year and people loved it because it's going to turn into like a Masters Olympia kind of thing. So many Masters pros were saying they didn't have a place to go, and now we have the big show, which is the Legion. And then our pro side's really big, and now what it seems to be no Arnold, and then the Olympia moved to the East Coast. We're the big show on the West Coast now, and plus we have 10 other sports.
Wow. Jousting?
Interesting you say that. We've armored combat, which is where they put on armor and beat the crap out of each other.
Wow. I like the sound of that.
It's awesome to watch, dude. They don't hold back either. They have swords and
Wow.
these hammers.
Will you be having moustache wrestling?
That is the plan. That is
Right. Count me in. I'll grow one.
definitely needs to be a mustache contest, I think.
Yes.
I mean, it isn't. Oh, we got to move it to Movember.
Oh, yes. I mustache you more about that one. Just missed that joke. You just missed an amazing joke there, guys.
I got the Movember one.
I said I mustache you more about that. Oh, it doesn't matter. Right, okay.
Get it clearly.
Cut. Right. Okay, then, guys. We'll let you go and speak to you very soon. And all the best with Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. And congratulations, Bojana. And just keep up the great work, guys.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. I'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
All right,
Bye-bye.
take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys. Right, we'll go right into it. We've decided 4 topics between ourselves. And I want to know who you see as the best Olympia onstage rivalry from 1995 onwards. Over to you guys.
Okay, maybe I should be first because I competed in the 90s, and then Dennis can chip in and then in the 2000s. Well, let me put it this way. I competed in every Olympia. No, I qualified for every Olympia from 91 to 2000, and I competed in 7 of them. I didn't touch the subject, though. You said that Peter McGough discussed 92, 93, 94. I would say '93 was a breakthrough year because they gave Dorian with the freaky physique, freakish, oh my God, look over Flex Wheeler, Sean Ray, those aesthetic guys. And once we touched that subject, I think that was, in my opinion, wrong direction, because from the beauty of Mr. Olympias, from Frank Zane's, from aesthetic physiques, now muscle mass was awarded as the #1 criteria. You know, when I was talking to you about the judging, when I say what should be considered in the judging, I think first should be aesthetics, which is shape, X-frame, V-taper, and then you have a round muscle bellies. But this cartoonish character, when you see Superman in a cartoons, this is the look we're looking for. So aesthetics and shape should be first, of course. Then balance. Okay, everything has to be there. So what do you do now if one body part is overdeveloped, like Dorian? His back was tremendous, but everything else, okay. Do you get awarded or you get penalized? Okay, then let's talk about conditioning. When you talk about conditioning, what do you consider there? Just dryness, how lean, you know, how full, all these, you know, things. So 1993, going into Mr. Olympia, as you remember, Flex Wheeler came that year winning every show, and he was, you know, possibly favorite to win, dethrone Dorian, but Dorian came like 25 pounds heavier. Pictures 6 weeks before the show just won him that show. And the judges gave Dorian over Flex and Sean on the basis of, conditioning. But Sean and Flex were conditioned. They were, you know, look at the pictures, you know, they were there. They had a better shape, the better aesthetics, but Dorian win just by that brutal mass. Okay. 94, Dorian came off big time. You know, so if you remember,
big time off, was he? Big time?
1994.
You think he was off big time in that one?
Oh, big time.
Okay. Well, you were in it, so.
I mean, I can also post some pictures. I mean, I was there, especially pre-judging. He was, let me put it this way. When I say Dorian, it's big time off for Dorian. Because let's say in 95, Dorian's conditioning was out of this world. I was there in the first row watching. I think that was the greatest conditioning of anybody I've ever seen, including Andreas Munzer. I mean, so, you know, that's what when you compare conditioning, 94, Dorian was off. In pre-judging, it was a trouble. And 94, Sean and Kevin were great. And not just that, I went to European Grand Prix Tour 94. And in German Grand Prix, there was 2 points between Kevin and Dorian. There was a possibility for Dorian to be dethroned right there. Bernd Beiderbecke could tell you a little bit more. He was the promoter. So when we talk about, 95 and on, 95 Olympia, Dorian won without a question. He was so fucking conditioned. It was so impressive. But like I said, 94, I would question his victory. And 93, I don't support judges' direction. Now they were dictating, okay, that's what we want to see. Muscle mass means more than just aesthetics and balance and, you know, shape. You know, this was, I think, a big mistake. 96, okay, and 95 also, Nasser arrived. Nasser did put himself as a, you know, major contender. I'll be short, Dennis. I'll be short. 96, Nasser was third, I think, but they took away. It was Dorian's victory. Sean was good. Okay. Kevin was good. And then 97, final year, the Dorian compete. Again, I think he was off. I think the Nasser deserves the victory. They didn't give it to him. We go to European Tour, and 97, Kevin started winning, dominating, with Ronnie taking over on the last show. So that's my take on 95, 96, 97. I don't want to Dennis to sleep.
All right, but now here's what I want to know.
Come on, Dennis.
I want to know where's the rivalry? Who is it? Who has the biggest rivalry?
So 1 second, guys. You've mentioned Nasser, Sean Ray, Flex Wheeler, and Kevin Navarone. Dennis and Milos. Who was the best rivalry out of all of those names? With who?
Okay, up to 95. I think the most of us agree. Kevin Flex and Sean were potentially uncrowned Mr. Olympias because they all had that something in them. They placed second, third, fourth all the time, right? From 95, Kevin was still there. Nasser emerged 95, 96, 97. And if you ask me, he beat Dorian 97. Okay? Mm-hmm. When you look at the 1996 Olympia, look at
Sean Ray should have won that one.
Oh! What do you say?
I think Sean Ray should have got that one.
Yeah, too. I agree. I
think the biggest rivalry in 93 was, of course, with Flex. Mm-hmm. 94, it was with Sean. Mm-hmm. 95, Kevin. 96, Sean. 97, Nasser. So he had a rivalry basically every year.
Okay. If you're putting it just one guy, yeah, I would completely agree with you with each and every year. If you were putting only one guy. But then this is what you also talk about it. Is this really between two guys or guys that's so fucking good, so fucking close, it can go either way? Yeah. Sean maybe edged Kevin 96, right? 97, stuff like, but when I say rivalry, back in the 90s when we were going into the show, there was always that enigma. Flex, Kevin, Sean. How they're going
to... That was the rivalry, Sean, Kevin, and Flex.
Yeah. But, okay, you tell me, because, and Dennis, I love your commentary. I love your when you judge somebody, I pretty much always see it the same way. But let's not talk of the touchy subject, because every time you talk about the winner and he say maybe he didn't deserve to win, then people get pissed off. Oh, you're jealous, your ass, and all this shit.
Unfortunately, that's the way it is. But hey, if you want to analyze someone and people ask you, you got to be honest. You got to let them know the way you see it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why I know the Giles was a little bit short. 96, I would also give it to Sean. 94, look at the pictures. Dorian was so off. Smooth in the prejudging, watery. Biceps was missing. That was
the biceps was missing in 94.
94, yeah.
Yes.
That's the year.
Yeah,
I thought he tore it in 96.
No, he tore it in February. It was February 94, and he did the triceps 6 weeks before. Well, a few weeks before the 97 Olympia. That was right, yeah.
Yeah. But what we're talking about, Dorian's condition was always good. You can't say 95 was out of this world, fucking super dry. And 94, he was off. You know how somebody is good from the front, not from the back? Dorian was crazy from the back, even 94, but from the front, you could see he was soft. So Kevin and Sean could have taken him in that one. If you ask me, Kevin could take him in 92 Olympia also. But this was that deciding factor, which way you're going to go. So if I can just touch that subject, because I think that Dennis, even though Dennis was mass monster, freakish guy, right? So he would probably favor freaky guys, right? And I'm more aesthetic, so I would be looking for
that's not true. I don't favor the freaks.
Yeah, I know you don't. I know. But I would say by your appearance and by your strengths, it would be expectable that, oh yeah, you were such a freak, right? And you want that muscle mass, you want to overpower everybody, and let's talk about it. I mean, really, Dennis, you never touched that subject. Back in the time when I worked with you, right? I did always want to go for this freak factor that you have, just like a fucking Ronnie. When you bring that chest and shoulders, like, oh my God, right? So, seriously. So for me, that was the thing. We never really discussed it, but stepping on a stage, I think that many times you had a flattish chest. That is not that chest that I used to seeing in a gym. I took thousands of photos of you, most muscular. It was like, Ronnie doesn't have that. Fucking most muscular side chest. It was like, shit. But so we are talking about this freak factor. Freak factor is what Dorian won 93, and then it carried him. 94, we agree he didn't deserve to win. Sean. 96, he doesn't deserve to win. It's also, again, Sean. 97 was Nasser. Okay? So it's I know it's tough for you, Giles. You're an English guy. And you're touching champion. But
I was actually a bigger Kevin Lavone fan and a Sean Ray fan than Dorian Yates. Dorian was about my fourth or fifth favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just congratulated Kevin his birthday, and I said he's for sure Mr. Olympia. But Kevin also brought to Arnold Classic many times better version than the Olympia. And
same with Flex Wheeler. Same with Flex Wheeler.
Yeah.
Correct, Dennis?
So now when Dennis pointed out, okay, rivalry is just like one guy each year, then, okay, if I have to narrow down, I agree with you, Dennis. 94, 95, Dorian won. 94 was Sean. 96 was Sean. 97 was Nasser. 98, okay, Ronnie won fair and square, even though there was...
but there was no rivalry because nobody had Ronnie on the radar.
Yeah, going into the show, it was Nasser, Flex show to be and Kevin. Nasser, Flex, Kevin to be battling for the title, and here comes Ronnie. And I don't know if you guys were at that show, but I was. And I tell you, backstage I was with Ronnie, and I look at him. He was right next to me. He was kind of smoothish, watery, right? Okay. and they didn't call him first call, second, third, fourth. He was in the first 4 call-outs. And then they called him. And boom, boom, boom. And you can just see him getting drier and fuller. And goddamn. By the end of the prejudging, here was Ronnie, and he bent over. It was his hamstring and glutes right here. And I was like, oh, shit. But I had to touch it, actually.
How many times in your career can you recall someone not getting called in the first 3 call-outs and he's going to end up winning the show? How many times did that happen over your career?
Not too many times. Okay, you see, I had it with Gustavo 2004. He was not called at all. He was like
Patel.
And then he would move it up all the way to top 3. He was not top 10 contender. You do have it. But why is this? Okay, so now it's maybe a good moment to talk about judging, right? Judging have the list of competitors, and before they step on the stage, you can call the first call out, right? I mean, let's be honest. You have the list of contenders. You know who's going to be in, first call out, even if they're somewhat off. And then if somebody is really on, okay, they give him a chance, and then maybe they can move up. But it's always preconceived. This is what we're going to expect. So Dorian had to be there, of course. Kevin Flex, Sean had to be there. And then the others, depends.
Is it true that in 93, because this is what Dorian told me one time. He said he didn't get a call out?
Yeah, it's possible because he didn't get by the IBB rules, if you don't get the call out, you cannot place. Guarantee. If you read this back in the 90s. So he had to get, but they maybe left him until the last call out.
I think I don't remember exactly, but he mentioned something. He didn't get a call out in the symmetry round. I think that they called him in the Muscular area.
They didn't call Dorian Yates out in the symmetry round in 1993. Is that what you're saying?
He said he didn't get a call out. He said, I knew right away I'm first or last.
Wow. I did not know that.
He had to get at least one.
Yeah.
There was Dorian, Paul Gillette, and Lou Ferrino. If you look at the pictures. And there was many. Dorian with Sean and Flex and Kevin. Yeah.
93. I just started, so I don't really know too much other than from videos because I wasn't following bodybuilding at that time.
Well,
but we agreed at 98. I mean, it was a shocker with Ronnie. For me, 98. Even though you said 2001 Arnold Classic maybe is Ronnie's best. For me, 98. Olympia was Ronnie's best when I look it back. When I do.
So, guys, can we move on to the turn of the millennium? I mean, you've got like Jay versus Ronnie. You had Kai versus Phil. You had, name some other rivalries. What about in the turn of the millennium, the last 20 years? What would you say has been the greatest on-stage rivalry, the one that really gets the fans amped up?
Well, the greatest one, the one that really everybody felt throughout the world was, of course, Ronnie and Jay, because they went first and second for like 6 years. So this went on forever until finally Jay beat him. And and he probably did beat him in 2001 where he didn't get it, Jay. So Jay was pissed. He didn't come back in 2002. I remember there was there was a lot of things going on with the diuretic test, and he supposedly failed the test with 5 different diuretics in his system. And I remember because 2001 I placed 7th.
Yeah.
And then when Jay was disqualified, I was like, oh wow, I'm 6th.
Yeah.
So now I said get a bigger check, but I guess Jay sued the IFBB, and then nothing happened.
Do you think Jay missed a trick in 2002? Because I was there that year, and that was when Ronnie kind of wanted to downsize a little bit to bring the waistline in.
What?
Do you think he missed a trick? Do you think he missed his opportunity in 2002?
Yeah.
Why? What do you mean missed the opportunity? He did what he had to do. He was spot on.
No. He said Jay didn't compete 2002.
At the Olympia. The Olympia. That was the year I think he could have took it.
Well, I guess Jay wanted to prove a point.
Yeah, I think that should be his biggest regret, because 2002, if you remember, Ronnie came smaller. It was not anything fabulous. That's the year that Gunther beat him in a GNC show, last show of the year.
Yeah.
Gunther also, like Ronnie in '98, came into 2002 Olympia like underdog, and then he looked so good, and audience basically, put him in a top 5, and it was the People's Champ. Then I went with Ronnie to European Grand Prix Tour. I was with him in Amsterdam. You were there. Yeah. And then Ronnie goes back to GNC and loses to Gunther. So if you and then Jay Cutler came 2003 in Ironman looking freaky. So 2003 Jay at the Ironman, it's probably one of the best versions of Jay. If you project this on 2002 Olympia stage, he could have won. I agree with Dennis. 2001, I think I would give it to Jay. I told Jay the other day, I said, Jay, if you ask me, you won 2001, but you didn't deserve 2007. Told him.
Jay, actually, Jay won the first 2 rounds with 6 points each round, and Ronnie had 9 points. So basically, Ronnie was 6 points behind Jay after prejudging.
Can I say something really controversial here?
Yeah.
I think that I've said this to Jay. I've said this in an interview. I said I think there's a better argument for him winning the 2005 Olympia than the 2001.
Okay, well,
that was the year he really caught Ronnie up from the back.
Yeah. I don't think anybody caught Ronnie from the back when Ronnie was on. I don't think so.
No, but what Giles is talking about, 2005, you can start seeing a damage in the left side of Ronnie's back. You could.
Ronnie was declining already.
Yeah. And then he does back double biceps, which was fucking outrageous. Oh, left is not flexing. Left is smaller. You can see it. Last spread also. You know how Ronnie also, when he does last spread, he puts his traps.
Puts his traps out. Yeah. His traps, yeah.
So I agree that it was competitive, 2005. But I think that Ronnie still won fair and square. But 2001, I didn't expect Jay looking like this. And he was standing right next to Ronnie. And I look, and feathers all over, deep abs. And you know how Ronnie would stand in a relaxed pose with the drop shoulders, look narrow and not great abs. Another thing that Ronnie, with the greatest legs that he had, he never really kept them separated. You can see when Ronnie does ab pose and then he lifts his leg, there is separation. Oh, you have it. But in other poses, he doesn't. So we can go over thousands of photos. He didn't flex his legs. Huge, but no separation. And this is what Jay was like.
Don't you think if and this is not a knock on Ronnie, there's nothing you cannot knock Ronnie. But don't you think if Ronnie would be a better poser, he would be even better?
Yes. But that is, maybe you didn't hear this, so I'm gonna say it in front of you because I said it to Giles last time. For me, Jay Cutler in 2009 would beat Ronnie at his best. But I reconsidered this and really analyzed it. Said it's no way. But I'm gonna tell you what.
Yes.
Yeah.
I fell off my chair when you said that.
Officially, because when you look at some pictures nowadays in the goddamn social media and all that stuff, I don't even consider it something that can be photoshopped, right? I didn't think, because when you see the video, you say, but then oh, look at this, like so many pictures. And then the guy sent me, hey, that's not the real photo. This is the real photo. Like, God damn. But
so you were looking at Photoshop pictures.
Yeah. But I couldn't tell the difference, really.
Right.
You know, I wouldn't. I just know that 2009, Jay impressed me in person because, 2008, Dexter beat him. 2009, Jay showed up. And for me, within 1 minute, I called his mobile phone and said, congratulations, you won. I mean, he was so dominant. But then projecting him with Ronnie at his best, I thought so. But no, Ronnie he was just way too overpowering. Lifting arms, the crazy biceps, crazy back, so I take that back officially. So, Giles, when we talked about it, I considered it, and I just said it that way, but I take it back.
Okay, so who pushed Phil Heath the hardest then? Who was the greatest rivalry for him?
Kai Green.
No question.
End of story.
End of story.
Yeah.
I mean, Phil's been pushed by others, but he's never been pushed like he's been pushed by Kai Green. It's the same as Jay and Ronnie. It was kind of Phil and that was going on for 3-4 years back to back. You know what I mean?
Dennis,
and it'll probably still go on today if they would both compete. If they would get up off their asses and decide to compete, which they should.
Dennis, do you think there's an argument for Kai ever winning any of those years over Phil?
No, I don't think so. You know what? Listen, these guys they're all great.
Yeah.
You can make an argument. Yes, but you can't take the wins away from Phil in 2010, 11, 12, and 13. There's nothing you can take away. You know what I mean? He was just too good. You know what I mean? And even though that Kai was a bigger version, but when they stand next to each other, you saw really what was going on. Especially when they turned around, Kai's great. Kai's got a great back, but Phil is complete with detail that no one else has.
Yeah. Do you concur, Milos?
Can I build on this one now? Super important. Everything you said, Dennis, is spot on. Perfect. Beautiful. But didn't Dorian beat Flex Wheeler, Kevin, and Sean on the basis of being bigger? More muscular.
Yeah, and I said the same. I think they should have gave it to Flex in '93. Exactly. They should have gave it to Sean. So I'm with you there. I'm not a judge.
Exactly. So what the Flex, what the DJ is saying, and I agree completely. This is how we see a sport. It should be aesthetics, right? So Flex and Kevin and Sean, should have an edge over Dorian. Muscle mass, it's not just one deciding factor. Okay, so.
Well, you see it today. You see it. It follows more today because if that would be like it was in the early '90s, Ronnie should win every show.
Yeah. But also
not.
At 90s judging, Kai could have a chance to beat Phil, with the 90s judging because bigger is better. And I'm glad that they changed it and they're now supporting more aesthetics, shape, V-taper, all this stuff. Now Rami is at the other wonder because Rami is like so goddamn big, but it's also still aesthetic, right? He can make argument. But speaking of Phil and Kai, I think that 1 year Kai was very close when, but I was not in the States, so I didn't really see the.
Well, that's 2014.
14. Okay. I thought you were going to say 2012 or 2013 because I know 2012 Kai was.
2013 Phil was at his best.
Yeah, he was at his biggest, wasn't he? In 2012, I know Kai was a little bit flat for the prejudging and he kind of pulled it out of the bag for the night show, but obviously Mr. Saturday Night pulled it out of the bag also and kind of managed to hold on. But I heard that was the one where, because I know he certainly tried to catch up with him on the post-Olympia tours. I know that Kai kind of got better, so it was a real kind of a tight match.
What year was the movie Generation Iron released?
2012.
No.
You sure? 2012?
No, it had to be later.
Okay, maybe 2013. I'm just guessing.
Because I remember that year they had the movie premiere in Los Angeles. It's like 2 weeks before the Olympia.
Yeah.
So the movie came out, And the movie was kind of like, they put it together like Kai is the poor guy, lives in the fucking ghetto, which all wasn't really true. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Then when Dave went there to film, you know, and acted like he's the poor guy. Phil is the one bathing in rose fucking water and shit like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they made it look like, you know, everybody's rooting for the underdog. It's normal. I remember that year when Phil came out, you know, Mr. Olympia comes out for his mandatory at the very end. The crowd booed Phil.
Hero villain.
Just based off the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was where I felt like they did feel kind of wrong with this generation because he was portrayed as the lucky guy that has everything from birth. You know what I mean? He grew up with the greatest family and blah blah blah. So it was kind of like it wasn't really a real documentary. I think
it really hurt his. I spoke to Phil because we did that UK tour with him last year, and he said it kind of. It definitely, and then obviously the explosion of social media and people going at him, and I think it kind of gave like a skewed kind of vision of who Phil really is, and I think that was kind of hanging over him most of his Olympia wins. I think because he was something special, Phil, and I think we all miss him now actually. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host Giles Thomas, and we're joined for this very special episode. William Bonac and Roelly Winklaar. Yay! Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Roelly, did I say your name right?
Exactly good, bro. No matter how you say it, it'd be better and better.
We'll get there in the end. So then, guys, I just want to get you two on together because I know you're friends and obviously you know you're huge names, and I just want to see how you guys are doing. What have you been up to?
Roelly first. He's older.
Exactly how I doing? Exactly very bad because my country have lockdown already 2 weeks now. That's mean 2 weeks don't training. Usable people let me train in the gym because the name, but nobody take the risk because the ticket is very high, and I have to go out of the country now so I can start training.
What about you, William?
With me, it's kind of the same situation here as well. But I'm fortunate that there's a gym, you know, in Beverwijk, cardio fitness, and they put like a tent outside, you know, for the customers to still have the chance to come and train there, you know. So they put like a big tent outside and they put equipment outside, and they can have like 30 people, you know, in an hour, you know. So that's how they switch it around the whole day. And but I'm lucky I can train inside, you know, because he like he said, it's my profession, you know. So and I even told him like you don't have to, you know, but he insisted on it, you know, the owner. So I'm fortunate, you know, to be able to train there. Yeah. So.
Well, I don't think I've even trained this year because our gym's open on the 12th. They open on Monday in the UK. We've been shut down for months, mate.
Yeah.
UK open. Total almost everything next week, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Can't wait. I'm having to boil wash my suits, mate, so they fit. Feel a bit skinny, you know. So Roelly, you're going back to where are you going back to next week? I saw on your Instagram.
Exactly. After 10 days, I have a guest post in Seattle. And after that, I think I will go Dubai of Abu Dhabi so I can start my training and start my prep so I can decide which show I can do because you guys know I have to qualify. And from now, I cannot tell you which show I can do because I don't training, I do nothing.
Yeah.
And I can decide not show either when I don't train this. I have to train before I decide which show I go to do.
Okay.
So go on, William.
Excuse me?
Sorry, you carry on. You were going to say something?
No. I was just listening, you know. I just No, I feel bad, for Roelly, for the situation, because, about the qualification as well, the way things went last year, so I really hope, my question was, how about Aruba? How is Aruba now then?
Aruba was like 2 days after we got locked down. Aruba got locked down. And the problem is Aruba, the people are more friendly for me because they're happy that I'm there and they open the gyms for me. But the ticket is more higher than here. And nobody take the risk to open the gym, either not for me. That is all the problem because I have my ticket ready to go Aruba and I cancel it because it stay the same. If I go there, I'll stay here, stay the same. And because I have the gas post for 10 days, that's all the problem. But tickets are already buy and everything, and I go do my gas post, and after that we look out what we're gonna do.
Okay.
So it's only a couple of weeks, so you've not been training then, because obviously the gyms are shut down.
Nah, just a couple push-ups, which you can do.
You still look huge, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like it's fucking huge, man. It's for not training. Imagine if you keep on, Damn. Okay. I've been training and I still look like a man's physique, so.
Your mama food, you remember mama food?
I know.
Yeah.
Good to see you smile, man.
So when was the last time you two saw each other then?
I think December. Yeah.
December after the show before I leave.
Yeah, before he left back to the Caribbean to Curaçao. Yeah. Yeah. So I just really hope, I know you're doing your best, trying the best that you can. I just hope, if it doesn't go, if it doesn't plan that way and you don't qualify because you are one of the top, contenders, I really hope they will consider to give you a wild card as well, because, you're one of the biggest names as well, and we are not getting younger anymore, so really, so I really hope you get if it doesn't help out and you qualify, I really hope they give you a wild card. I really hope that they can see hey, this guy deserves a wild card too. You understand? If they can give it to other people, why not you? You're the one who, in my opinion, deserve it the most, so I really hope it for you. Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if they didn't give you a special invite, Roelly.
Yeah.
Very surprised.
In God's will.
Yeah, because 2020. You weren't happy with your condition, William, at the Olympia. I thought you looked great. I thought your condition was great. You were a little bit flatter than maybe not as full as you were in previous years. 2020 was not a good year for Roelly, of course. It's been so. I just hope that we can kind of get some kind of redemption for both of you this year, because you're two of the top guys in the world. We want to see you up there at your best.
Thank you. Yeah. We're doing our best, man. It's just a difficult situation, if we were living in the USA, it would be a totally different story, but maybe they should consider, to do the Olympia, once a while, different places, not just the USA, you understand? That would be nice, like they used to do back in the days, so.
So what do you think about the Olympia being in October instead of December?
Really?
It is good. I think you have 1 month more for the people that need time, and exactly it don't matter when they put the Olympia. You have to be that day. You have to be ready.
Yeah, with me, I'm happy because it still gives you a month longer, you understand, to to clean yourself up, to rest the body, so it's still a month longer, so if it was September, it would be too close, in my opinion, because we just did Mr. Olympia in December, so, and also a lot of shows, are planned and things are not going, as we planned it as well for the shows, so a lot of guys want to qualify, but the opportunity is just,
small.
Yeah. It's getting smaller. Yeah. And I mean, especially for people living outside the USA, you know, just, yeah.
So what about this Arnold UK? Because I saw, obviously, you know, we've been the Arnold Classic champion, William. I saw you on the poster. Is that an indication that you might be coming over to do the Arnold UK in October?
Excuse me, the Arnold in October?
The Arnold UK is in October, about 2 weeks before the Olympia.
Yeah.
Have you considered doing that?
Doing the Arnold in UK?
Yeah. I just thought, with it being Europe, and I saw you on the poster, I just thought, is this a sign that he might be doing it?
You mean the Arnold Classic, like from the Ohio, is coming to the UK?
No, they've got an Arnold UK as well, and they've got an open. They've got an open, and it's right on your doorstep, mate.
If I would have, like, if I needed to qualify, I would have done it, you know. But
yeah,
I don't need to take that risk, you know. So yeah, maybe for money wise, but you know. Otherwise, I don't need to go there, and it's close, you know, and I would love to support them, you know, but the Olympia is raised more heavier than, you know, any Arnold Classic, you know, so, yeah. And I won the Arnold Classic 2 times, you know, and my goal, I still love to win another trophy, but my goal is to, you know, to one day go for the Sando and, you know, give it my shots now I can, you know, so, yeah.
What about you, Roelly?
I know, yeah. I wish I can do that because exactly I'd be better.
You will win.
I'd be always better after a show. Like after show, I'd be better and better and better. And I don't know. I just decide when I go start training. I decide which show I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
It might be a good warm-up for the Olympia, mate.
Excuse me?
Roelly, it'd be a good warm-up for the Olympia. 2 weeks before. Is it 2 weeks before? 2 weeks before.
He's smart. He's trying to sell it.
I'm not sure on the prize money, but it might be an easy qualification, you know? Come to the UK. Come on.
Yeah.
Maybe next time. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, with all the shows, it's they're all kind of like very close together this year, aren't they? You know.
Yeah. Too close. Yeah, too close. But they don't have much choice. You know.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
You have like a couple shows to do, like 6-5 like things from here from now, and the new guys are good. Believe me, the new guys that upcoming now, they're good. They surprise me. They're very good.
They're hungry. That's why.
Like who? Who impresses you at the moment, really?
Boogeyman.
Oh, Boogeyman, yeah.
And Nick Walker.
Yeah, for me, Labrada.
Labrada too.
Yeah. My brother is like, he's the one that I look at. I'm like, okay, this guy's gonna be. It's gonna be something else.
That's new guys that I think they can all make all damage for us all.
Yeah. I think in a few years to come. The
guys are young, but they're still hungry for be on the stage, and I think,
true.
Yeah, those are the guys, you know.
What about the picture? Have you seen the pictures of Hassan Mustafa recently, training at Flexes?
Yes, he's a yeah, it's a huge guy, man. Good condition as well. Yeah. That's my opinion. You know.
But that is him. Hassan is good. I tell him all. He's massive. He's nice. But I think he have the same problem as me, and like the moment to be good on stage, you have to be good. You know, he's good.
Like before the shows.
Before the show, yeah. On the show, you know, it's like me, you know. You have to be good on the show.
Yeah.
So, Hassan, believe me, that guy have legs.
Yeah. Flex Lewis told me, he said when he saw Hassan at Tampa last year, he said he drove home that night, and he said the first thing he was going to do the next morning was train legs. After he saw Hassan, he was so impressed. He was so impressed, you know.
Like Rami's legs.
Yeah. So, do you think Rami's going to do it again this year, or do you think you're going to,
You're talking to who, actually?
Well, either of you. Sorry. Yeah, come on. I want to see what you say.
But what you ask, if Rami gonna win again?
Do you think he can do it again? Do you think he can achieve that condition again, or do you think he's just gonna get better and better now?
You never know, because I think Rami's massive is he's big, and he was drier than everybody then on the stage, and if he can come like that and drier, he will beat everybody again. Yeah, and I think if everybody gonna be sharp, it makes it more difficult for him. He was that day sharper than everybody. That's why, and he's big. Yeah. He can compare with nobody when he's big and sharp.
Yeah. Well, I've got the issue here. Hang on. Listen to this. It says Roelly should be Mr. Olympia, and William said it.
Oh, damn. Which MD?
Yeah. So in my column it said, he said Roelly should be Mr. Olympia, and it's when I had William on a few weeks ago, and he says Roelly should be Mr. Olympia. And I've got some shots of you two next to each other.
Don't disappoint me, brother. Don't make me look bad.
So that's what you call support from your competitors, isn't
listen,
it?
Not only because I know Roelly, because I'm good with Rami as well. I know his story, it's not that. It's that because I've seen Roelly, I know Roelly when I was an amateur. I know Roelly when he just started, started to rise in Holland. The first time I saw Roelly, I was like, bro, what the fuck are you doing here? You need to move to America. You understand? I say, like, you are a pro. You understand? And he started rising, and doing well, and like he's been so long in the industry. I think even longer than Big Rami, so in my opinion, like he should be the next man, for the throne. You understand? And he had a lot of, bad years as well. You understand? So if you look at it that way, you understand? In my perspective, I think like he should be the next man on the throne. And it's not like a charity thing, but he deserves it, for being in the industry, supporting the industry, and because you have to see how we support the shows by competing in these shows. You understand? And I've been competing in the Olympia, I think, since 2014 was my first year. And Roelly was there, like, I think 3 years earlier.
2010.
Yeah, you understand? So, and me and Rami, I think, started 2013. You understand?
Yes,
so if you go with that way, understand? I think, like, it should be between you and Rami, man, And if I look at, at the looks that the judges want, at that moment, and if Roelly brings his shape like he did in 2018.
Ooh.
Yeah, man.
2018 Roelly, yeah.
To be honest, I don't want to take anything from anybody, but 218, they should reconsider, they should reconsider, how they place him and how they place the top, three, and so for me, it's like I've always told Roelly, bro, you should have been a Mr. Olympia a long time ago. You understand? Of course, sometimes he bring it and sometimes he just, missed it. You understand? And I'll be like, fuck, bro, just this little bit. You understand? And, it's still there, bro. I keep telling you that it's still there. It's just the mindset as well, and the right people around you, and a little bit luck. A little bit of luck. Yeah, because we deal also with a lot of stuff, you understand, with sponsorships, and then, losing the sponsorship, trying to find a new one, negotiations for months, you understand, all these things, it takes a toll on you as well, so I just hope, like you get your shit together this year, man, and just blow everybody off the stage, man. You got, like, if you see Roelly, like, in the gym on stage, you understand, he got a Mr. Olympia physique. You understand? People say that about me, but I think like if I wear like a pullover, you wouldn't even see that I got muscles. You got me? No, it's true. If Roelly wears a pullover, the whole shirt is like, like screaming, like, give me some air. You understand? And I just hope he get his chance, because he deserve it, man. For me, if I don't win the Olympia, I'm good. I'm good with it, because I didn't even think that I could win the Arnold Classic, but I did twice, so. So I'm blessed with that already, you understand? So I just hope for my friend, that, he get what he deserve for once, Yeah. Yeah, bro.
There you go. Yeah, come on, Roelly, you're getting quiet now, mate. Come on.
And then you see, he's a fucking nice guy as well.
Yeah.
He's like, he got all the attitude. And before people were like, oh, the language barrier and blah. I'm like, huh? I mean, like there are so many Olympians who won the Olympia who couldn't speak proper English, So and he's doing quite good, So yeah, man.
Yep.
My opinion.
Yeah. Do you know what? I remember when MD sent me to Roelly in Rotterdam in 2010, 2011. And they said, look, get over there, get filming this guy. We want to get as much as you can, content as what you can, training, interviewing, whatever.
Yeah.
And Robbie Leven came over. Robbie Leven.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie came over and he said, no, Giles, he says, I said, who else? Because Marshall was there, Marshall Herman, Gregor, Francisca.
Yeah.
And then Robbie and Barry DeMay came over and they said, look, there's another guy over the other side of town that's really good and you got to watch. It's a guy called William Bonac. And they said he's really, really good. Yeah, he said he's really, really good.
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, he's a guy to keep an eye on because it's not just Roelly that's good in Holland. There's another guy.
My role model at that time was Roelly.
Really?
I looked up, bro. I would like when Roelly finished training and he went, to change, like in the locker room. I would rush up my training, to run upstairs and go in by Monda's gym. To run upstairs, he was training with Sibyl Omar.
Yeah.
Run upstairs, just to see his physique, because I know you got to take off his shirt. And I just wanted to see his physique. I'm like, fuck, man, and I was like, man, can I ever be like this, And I was like, I was so much, I was like, I'm still a Roelly fan, but that time,
I remember we was training in the same gym.
Yeah.
The time I was training, I come preparation for the Dutch champion.
Yeah.
And we was both gym from Monda.
Yeah.
And I say, Bonac, let's train legs. Bonac said, hell no, I go train legs.
I know this guy. One time, I think he was training legs, and I was doing back or something like that, And he called me, to spot him, And I was so happy that he called me to spot him. Just, I was like a fanboy, I'm like, I can help Roelly, and man, So I learned a lot from Roelly, the way he rised up, I was like, that was my focus. I want to be like him, I want to be like him. I kept telling Monda, so even when the gym closed, Monda would help me with my postings, and, do a vacuum and all those stuff, And, sorry. I can't hear you guys. No.
Oh, you can't hear me? Yeah, plug yourself back in, mate.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
So me and Monda used to, after he closed the gym, he used to help me with my posting, because I wanted to be right like Roelly. And he looked at me, say, you just keep training, keep doing your best, and one day you never know, So yeah, and then I got on stage with him, but that time I was in the 212 class, So when we had a show in Prague, he was in the open class, and I used to pass by, look at him, hey, Roelly, come on, And then I walked to my class, and yeah, man. Yeah, great times, man. I learned a lot from because I don't think that I would have become like this if I didn't meet Roelly.
Really?
Yes. Really? I'm sure. Because Dexter, I looked up to Dexter because he had my size, but Dexter was far to reach. I never met Dexter before. The only person I met from the professional was Chris Gommier because Monda brought him over there.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler later on. Yes, Victor Martinez, Cypher, yeah, and Victor Martinez, so those were the only guys that I knew like pros, and I couldn't get that close to them. We saw them once in a while, you understand? And Roelly was closer. You could see him every day, and he was one of us, so yeah, it was easier to follow that path. Yeah. And especially when he won the Arnold Classic. Ah, man, he won his pro card. Yeah, everybody went wild, bro. Really, whole gym, yeah. It's happy to have someone like you, on the top, so, and that's what my friends are telling me right now. They say, like, to see you among us, we train with you and everything, and now you are there, you understand? So it's surreal, Yeah.
Come on, really, give us some stories.
Yeah?
Give us some stories. Come on. It's all William now. It's all William. Come on.
A lot of more stories, man. Yeah.
give me.
One more.
Go on.
I think we had also one more that we went to the nomination.
Mm-hmm.
I think Roelly was nominated for the Dutch. It was with the Dutch bodybuilding. He was nominated, and we went to a far place. Remember that time I just went to Almere, and we have even a picture of that. Like, we stood like with three of us, you, me, and Earl. I think Earl Maduro.
Maduro.
Yeah, it was like a nomination, for best bodybuilder, best upcoming this and best that, and we went over there. And you drove with us that time. Yeah, we drove to that place. Yeah.
He doesn't remember.
You understand?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. All those little things, for me, it's still here. Yeah.
I remember when you were both because I was at the Dallas 2012 show, the Dallas Europa. You were in the 212 and you were in the Open, and that was the one that Sean Roden won.
Yes. Yeah. I met Quincy Winklaar. Quincy was there as well. Yeah. Quincy was in my class. Yeah, that was, I think, our first professional show.
Was it your first?
My first professional show for me and Quincy.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you both, because you guys both was on the same day. You guys both have pro card.
Yeah.
I was remember Quincy tell me listen, I have to stand at next Bonac. I say, okay. Yeah. You're gonna win that. You're gonna win that. But try to be on your driest. Maybe you go for the driest, but for fullness you don't win that. He called me because I remember I was in US, I think, of Curacao, and he called me and say, we got both the pro cards. I said, okay, that's good.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I know. I saw him that day as well. He was working with Oma as well.
Yeah.
Good times, man. Good times.
Yeah. So when did you both? Because you left in 2013, didn't you? You left Holland to go to Kuwait. Is that correct, Roelly?
2014.
2014,
yeah.
Right? Okay. Was it 2014?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was before that. He was working with a guy from UK.
Before that, 2014. I worked exactly 2013 to 2014. Half of them. I worked 1 year with Nathan Herman.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So
after that, I go Kuwait.
Yeah. So what was your favorite time competing against each other then? Because I got the Arnold Europe in 2017 stuck in my head. You don't remember that? You don't remember that? Remember? I sent you the photo. You said I was third, and I went no, William, you were second, mate, and I sent you the pictures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I remember.
Arnold Classic where?
No, that was the Olympia was that.
No, the 2017 Arnold Europe.
The Europe.
Barcelona.
Europa. Yeah. Barcelona. Yeah. That's when they moved from, I think, Madrid to Barcelona.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. With Rami. I was last man with Big Rami.
Yeah.
Yeah, that time.
Rami win, right?
No. Yeah, Rami won. Yeah. That time, I think it wasn't the same year that Sean got third at the Mr. Olympia.
He was fifth that year. He was fifth that year because he had the hair. Sean Roden had the hair, and he broke his jaw.
Yeah, true. Yes,
that's right. Yes, we couldn't. He was blending everything, having to drink all his food.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, our best moment on stage with Roelly. I think for Roelly it was probably the Arnold Classic when he beat me in
what year?
Australia.
I don't want to accept that because we just come from the Arnold Classic, Ohio.
Yeah.
And everybody was front of me. You, Dexter, was front of me because
No, Roelly, before you go on, think good what you're gonna say because you won that day. Simple.
Listen. Yeah. I was upset that I go winning on that day because 2 weeks before, you and Dexter was.
I know, but you know what happened? Because me and Dexter was in front of you. We didn't work that hard the last 2 weeks because we thought we were gonna win a game, and you did work. You understand? You worked your ass off going there. You was, I think, even 2 weeks before you was.
I'm working on. I tell you again. I be after shows. I be better and better.
Yeah.
And I think it's that, and when you're ready to champion, you think it's easy done. And I was thinking like, shit.
You wanted to win
better.
Yeah.
I have to win. I have to be better. You make a change in your plan, and it worked.
Bro, you came. Bro, that was the same year you actually got second at the Mr. Olympia. Not on paper, but.
2018. Oh.
Yeah, that was the same year you got second at the Olympia. In my opinion, probably maybe even first. So you don't bring yourself down, man. You won that show legit in Australia. Me and Dexter. We did good 2 weeks before, but then we just faded away. You came there, your waist was like, everything was like popping out, and I was like looking at you like, what the fuck happened with this guy? Like it's such a short time, 2-3 weeks time, Yeah, you deserve it, bro. Yeah, don't be ashamed of that. Yeah, man. Yeah.
He dropped.
So that was your year. Whatever you did that year, do it again. Do it again, bro. Really. And even I think Arnold was like, hey. What did you do, with your abs? Even he was asking you, like, what did you do? How all the years people were like, bashing Roelly with his guts and blah, blah, blah. And then he came there and was like, man's physique tight, and hey, bro.
Men's physique. Do you remember? Because I was at that Arnold Classic in 2018, and his waist was like wider. He didn't have as much taper, and then he went to the Arnold like a couple of weeks later, and it was like somebody had photoshopped.
That's what I mean.
Somebody photoshopped his waist.
That's what I mean.
Do you remember?
Bro.
It was crazy. I was like you said, whatever you did, do it again.
Yeah.
You go try it.
Yeah.
Good.
You need to, man.
Yeah,
you need to. Yeah, it was a fantastic. That was a good look. That and the Prague, I think that for you really was, and the 2018 Olympia. Those 3 looks, I think, were just. I mean, that's a real challenge to Ramy looking like that.
Yeah.
It is.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I see. That's what I see, bro. Yeah. I think more people need to, to push it in his head before he start to believe it. You have to believe it, Roelly. Believe it, man. Believe to achieve is what they say. You can do it, brother. If I can do it at the Arnold, you sure can do it, bro. Yeah, brother. I mean it.
Come on, Roelly. You're so quiet.
Yeah, he's like that.
Yeah, he's too humble. We don't want that. We don't want that.
That's Roelly. That's Roelly. That's Roelly. That's good, man. Now you see, that's Roelly. That's why people like him.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on. He's not saying much here. So, but. Yeah. So obviously you guys have known each other, what, 10, 11 years now?
Since 2000, what I can remember, since 2008, 7.
Yeah, so 8. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Before I be.
Yeah.
No, I think before 2007.
7, yeah.
2007.
Because 2007, I moved over to that area.
Yeah, you moved to the area. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
And you start working in the gym.
Yes, later on I started working in the gym, yeah, and then we met each other there, yeah.
Have you ever done any photo shoots together?
No, actually not.
What?
If we done a photo shoot? No, mostly photo shoot is like when you got same sponsor.
Yeah.
Or you got same connection with like the MDs ask you to picture shoot.
Yes.
In the past, MD always connect me with couple of guys that have contract with the same thing. Yeah. Like I have a photo shoot with Victor Martinez. I've shoot I think with a couple of guys, but that's all for MD in that time.
Yeah, and I was with Flex.
Yeah, you was with Flex.
I was with Flex. Yeah, so that doesn't go together. You get me?
Yeah. Different sponsors. Yeah. I suppose. Yeah. Well, maybe you can do one this year. But I don't know if you're both at Olympia and stuff this year, so maybe you can do that. You know. So, but. Yeah. So anyway, guys, I don't want to take up any more of your time. It's been really cool, and I really appreciate you coming on together, because it's a big deal when you get two guys, that are that are competitors but also friends. I thought it'd be an interesting dynamic to get you on together and hear some of your stories. And and I want to be respectful of your time. So I just thank you so much for coming on. And
thank you for the invite.
And I really want to see you both at the Olympia, back at both at your best, and because you're both top three Olympia guys, and I just, like I said, you were disappointed with your fullness and everything at the Olympia. 2020 was, you got caught with the COVID, really. It was, and like I said, we want to see you back.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, we all want the best for the athletes. We want to see them at their best on stage at the Olympia, kind of in there, giving themselves their best chance,
True. Yeah, true.
Yeah. All right, then.
Well, thank you for the invite, man. And thank you to see you again, Roelly. And hopefully see you soon.
Okay, go get your breakfast, Roelly, because I know it's very early for you. All right, guys. Well, I'll speak to you very soon, and all the best for everything, and hope everything goes well for the prep and going through to the Olympia.
Cool, bro. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys, for this Global Muscle Hot News special, we have Subi Ali, the organizer of the new Rami tour with, sorry, your name is Haytham Haggad, correct?
Yes.
Cool, right. Okay, so Subi, tell us, obviously the news, you released it the other day about the current Mr. Olympia, Rami, coming to the UK. Do you want to tell us about that, please?
Yeah, so basically we've got Big Rami, who's the current Mr. Olympia, coming to the UK with Dennis James. So we've locked in some dates towards the end of June and the start of July. Mm-hmm. So it was meant to happen right now, like April. But the issue was obviously due to Ramadan and Rami fasting, we've had to postpone it till the end of June, post the 21st of June. So there's no restrictions due to COVID and stuff. So that's why we put our heads together and thought, right, okay, what's the best way of dealing with it? So I'll introduce Haytham. He's based out in London, obviously the UK. Mm-hmm. He's the vice president of Enhanced Labs, the same company that is sponsoring Dennis James and Rami. So he reached out to myself and said, could we set something up, because Rami's never been into the UK. It's something that he'd love to do. Obviously, he's got a huge fan base out here. Mm. If we could put something together. And I said, it'd be a fantastic opportunity, because I know, me and yourself, Giles, we spoke about it and stuff. It's something that's always been of interest. And, we always kind of like cross over or collaborate or somehow meet over with these tours. And I think they're imperative with the UK bodybuilding industry, because it brings, the athletes closer to the fans. Yeah. With the stuff that's going on with the pandemic, a lot of people can't get over to like the States, or they can't travel, there's restrictions. So bringing them to home turf and bringing them to the local gyms or the supplement stores or arenas or anything like that, it just makes and grows the industry where it needs it to be. Do you know what I mean? So that's where it is. But it's always been of interest. I've been obviously, like, Giles, I've been doing these, for a hell of a long time with a lot of, famous names and stuff. Yeah. It's, I've earned myself a bit of a reputation like yourself. Kind of like, people kind of like, I try to disappear And then people find me again and be like, listen, we need to sort this out. I'll be like, okay.
Before I go to Haytham, one thing I actually want to point out, you were the person that brought the first reigning Mr. Olympia to the UK. That was Sean Roden in 2018. And now you're bringing the current reigning Mr. Olympia, Big Ramy, to the UK. So that's a big feather in your cap, mate.
Thank you. Yeah, actually, point that out. You know, it's
a
quite
big deal.
funny because,
a big deal.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And honestly, Giles, this job that you're doing is fantastic. And it's, you know, sometimes I like to stay in like behind the scenes and just remain a ghost and do what I'm doing, but create huge ripples within the industry, right?
Yeah.
And the last time you gave me a shout out, and I was so honored. And you know, I was so square shouldered. I was like really happy, thinking, wow, you know, somebody acknowledges the hard work that and all the time and hours that I put into these projects. And you know, like, and it's left a huge mark for me, because my eldest now is 14, and he looks at this and he's like, Dad, this is fantastic. You know, you know, you're on YouTube and everybody's you know, giving and stuff like that. So it's a great feeling. And I think, you know, people that are genuine fans of bodybuilding within the UK are kind of like merging together. And they are creating this, you know, this beast that needs to be created within the UK. It's taking it back to where it should be, you know, and how it should be. So I think everybody combining together is where we need the industry to be. Do you know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with it. So
Haytham, are you looking forward to Ramy coming over then, mate?
Yeah, it's been a lot of hard work has been put into this, and unfortunately, because of the pandemic and the travel restrictions and stuff, as Subi mentioned before, it was hard, and it's just kind of delaying us a bit in the movement and the traveling. But here we go. Like we try to organize something the end of June, beginning of July. We'll have for 10 days tour.
10 days.
Hopefully we get something.
Wow, I did an 8-day one once, and that was brutal. That was brutal.
It's crazy. Honestly, the lineup and the places. To be honest, Giles, it's fantastic, because we've got Scotland, we've got Northern England, we've got Central England, we've got South, we've got, you know, Essex. We've kind of like tried to. The place that I'm trying to lock in now is somewhere like in Wales.
Okay.
Then we literally covered pretty much everywhere that we need to be up around the country. So it's a huge, you know, it's a good achievement.
So if there's anyone,
and they're really excited as well. Like the Ramy and Dennis James really excited about coming. I was talking to Dennis James the other day, and he said to me, "Listen, the 4th of July is the Independence Day, but I'm happy to spend it with you guys. I'm happy to come as well."
So if anyone is, because I believe you've got still 1 or 2 dates left to fill. So if, say, there is anyone in Wales, any locations looking to book, how would they reach you to book Ramy and Dennis James?
Send either myself or Haytham a DM via Facebook. Obviously, you could get hold of, if anybody knows me, to get hold of my number and reach out, and we can lock them in. It's not going to be a problem.
Okay.
So we can, you know, we just want to make it, again, it's all about the fans. That's what that's what my motto is.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people have a different aspect in the way they do work. It's, for me, it's about the fans. I'm a fan of bodybuilding. I've always been a fan of bodybuilding. And for me is to bring them fans of bodybuilding together and to make this a huge event that's going to be in the UK.
Wow. So you're bringing the reigning Mr. Olympia to the UK in July and August. That's absolutely amazing. So anything else you can tell me about the tour that you want to mention?
Yeah. So what we've done is with Haytham is the vice president, and he's heading up the UK operation.
Yeah.
So we've got product in UK. You're obviously going to see a lot more of the product in the UK of enhanced. So if there's any shops or anybody, I'm doing a plug-in, by the way. So if there's any shops or retailers that want enhanced product, you know, Haytham's your man, and reach out to him, and he'll hook you up. So what we've done also in the back of that, we've created a huge UK presence of athletes as well. You know, we've got some huge names that have signed up as well. You know, within Europe and in UK. You know, we've got a huge wellness coach, which is Robert Phil. You know, one of the best wellness coaches in the industry. Yeah. And we've got a wellness athlete who's already competing at this year's Olympia. You know, Giselle Machado. She's part of the team.
Oh, Giselle.
Yeah, Giselle. So
yeah, fantastic. She won Spain, didn't she? She won Spain. Was it Spain or Romania?
Yeah, so we've got, it was Romania.
Yeah.
Romania she won.
That's right, yeah.
And then we've also got like Juju out of France. We've got Rados, a 212 is already competing at the, he wants to get to the Olympia this year as well. So we've got some really good names that are on the team, and we're trying to grow it outside of obviously Dennis and Rami. But within the UK, there's going to be a community within the UK because Haytham is based in the UK, you know, the product's in the UK, so we want to have a huge presence here in the UK as well.
Brilliant. Haytham, any final word to the fans looking to come see Rami in the UK when he's over?
We're pretty much like stocked up with coming to the stock. We're pretty much stocked up, so anyone who wants to reach us for us, we're ready to post the same day dispatch or the next day. Athletes or the fans, we already with this tour we already booked so many places now, and everyone is really excited about meeting them. Is very good vibe to have this energy around after all of this pandemic and the lockdown. And it's just like finally we start to have life and just gyms are open again and everything start to be interactive, so we're all looking forward for that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and you know, just to add on to that, Giles, and you know, even for like Rami and Dennis, for Rami himself, you know, the frustration that he's had is he's won an Olympia in a pandemic, and then he's not really been able to capitalize on that in the sense
that's true.
He can't travel. There's restrictions, the whole COVID pandemic, and you know, there's all this kind of countries on the red list and blah blah blah. It's just a whole list of stuff. So what we're trying to do is really get him out there for being the current Olympia. He's going to be doing a tour in America post us guys as well.
Okay.
So he's going to do a tour in America. There's people that are speculating that he's not out there and he's doing, you know, what Dorian Yates did in the past where he won the Olympia and he just disappeared, right?
Yeah.
And that's why Dorian Yates got the name of the Shadow, right?
Yes.
Because he just won the Olympia, just trained and then just came to the Olympia and won.
Yeah.
So whereas Rami is actually a very humble, down-to-earth guy. You know, Haytham will tell you this. He's eager and desperate to get out there, to meet his fans, to see the people that really, really support him. And, you know, it's just all good vibe from the team at Enhance, you know, what it's about. Yeah.
I think it's a really nice, like you said, everyone's been kind of on, you know, we just come out of this last lockdown and the thing is, Rami is so well loved. I mean, I've been around Rami, you know, and I've never ever heard anyone in the industry, and which is very rare in this industry, never said a bad word about him. He's the current Mr. Olympia. He's going to be in the UK, and I'm really, really excited for this one, guys. I think it's going to be really, really good. And just want to thank Enhanced for bringing him over, and obviously Subi, you're taking care of all the arrangements. So, like I said, I wanted to get you on, guys, and just, you know, show you some support and
appreciate that, Giles. Honestly.
And yeah, it's important, really. So we all need to collaborate and sort of spread the good word, you know.
Yeah, to be honest, you know, like if there's any way we can bring it in and you could do, you know, whatever you could come up with, be more than happy to collaborate with what you do, Giles. You know, I'm always being a supporter of your work. I will continue to support your work. So if there's anything that you could think of, a way of collaboration, you know, we're all up for it. It's not going to be a no more than it's 100% yes from our side. So if there's any sort of possibility or way or think, you know, you could think of something happening, yes, let's do it.
Okay. Well,
I just want to add something as well. It's just Enhanced is not just about like supplements. It's all about community and energy and people around it, all the people working for the company and they're supporting the brand and all of that. It's all about this community and the environment we create around ourselves. And that's why one of the reasons that we just like, we need to bring Rami to this, because Rami didn't just won the Olympia, he just won the heart of the people.
Yeah.
And we just want to bring all of this so we can have a full team. Like the energy is really good with the company and everyone working in the company. Yeah. So the team is getting bigger and bigger and better and better. So that's the whole idea about the community. It's not just supplements and buying and selling products. It's all about the community that we want to create. So it'd be really lovely to have this tour, and we have another tour in the Middle East and in America. So it's all good vibes.
Good. And it's also a huge added bonus here bringing Dennis James, because he's I mean, he's been on my show many times, and he's extremely popular, extremely integrated into the industry. And I think it's going to be a really good positive tour, guys. And really excited for you.
100%. Appreciate that, Giles. Honestly, just keep doing what you do, you know, what you're doing, and a platform like this for us guys to promote our work as well. And it just goes hand in hand. And I think, again, it's a massive achievement for having, a magazine like Muscular Development, having an outfit in the UK, and for the fantastic work that you do. It just makes it so worthwhile collaborating in any way or shape or form. Do you know what I mean? So just a massive shout out to you as well, mate, for doing what you're doing. I don't know, maybe you do a lot of the work behind the scenes, people that don't know you. I know you, you work like me, you 24/7.
Yeah.
It's like the saying goes with me, the hustle never sleeps. And, guys from America be like, are you still awake? And I'll be like, yeah, it's fine. You can reach me at any time, right?
Yeah.
So, guys, honestly, mate, this is probably just redemption from me to you to say thank you for the last shout out. So I'm saying from my side, keep up the amazing work, mate. Honestly, nothing goes unseen. These long hours, long editing sessions and all that. It's a fantastic job that you're doing for the whole real bodybuilding community, Giles. So it's a massive achievement. Honestly, if I could say anything more, I couldn't. Keep up the fantastic work, mate.
Yeah. Well, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, guys. Haytham, Subi, thank you so much for coming on MD Glove Muscle on the Hot News segment. And like I said, let's stay in touch, and let's make sure that we can do what we can to help you make this tour a huge success.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much, Giles.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Speak to you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.